backstage, pass out laughing. Yes, sir, here at Backstage, staying on topic with conversation, make you think, hey, please don't be scared, making it fuss, they jokes, partner, please lighten up, the comedy's about making life funny, bruh, and if you're ready for the show now, follow me backstage, cause it's about to go down.
Well, 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 guess who's back in the house? It's Mr. DL. Savoir Faire is everywhere, and we're back into your 2024 with season 2 of Backstage Conversations. DL's Backstage Conversations with yours truly, the voice, Mr. Savoir Faire, the DL Marshall. Bam Brown is out today. We have a magnificent guest that we're going to introduce here in just a second. But as always, you know, we give you the best conversation with the best conversationalists anywhere in the industry. And today we have a recording artist that we are playing her song backstage. I love it. It's hype. It's got a beat that you guys, it's familiar to me, and I'm sure it's probably familiar to you guys as well. But without further ado, put your hands together for none other than the beautiful, the lovely, talented, and anointed songstress, songbird, Miss Marjane. Y'all give it up, give it up, give it up. How are you doing?
I am doing well. Thank you so much for inviting me to be on your show.
Oh, no problem. No problem at all. So how has your new year taken off so far for you?
New Year has been really well so far. New Year has been really, really pleasant. I'm thanking the Lord. Exactly, because there's some people that I kind of know, and they haven't had it so pleasant years so far. So God is good. I can just say that.
Yeah, well, the way Cat Williams kicked off, I can tell you about 6 or 7 people whose 2024 didn't start off quite that well. I was about to say already we only a few days in, but
only a few days in,
yeah.
Literally.
Well, thank God for being God and keeping us here, because the things that we go through are things that we have endured, and his blessings be upon us. And those are things that we as entertainers and with our gifts and talents use for content. Like, if you go through, that gives you lyric content for a song that helps someone get through what they may not think they can. You can tell them they can, because you have. And I definitely use it for content on stage, as far as with comedy and with music. So tell us how long Miss Marjane has been in the music business. What got you in the music business? Let us know that.
Well, I actually I've been singing. My mom says I've been singing since I was 2 years old. Well, you know, moms always have a story. So I always, told my mom it would be nice if she had a video so I can see this for myself now that I'm well over my 40s, right? But I've been singing since I was 2. I grew up in church singing. However, I did not become a recording artist until 2005. Okay. And at that time, although I was growing up in church, singing in church, I started as a recording artist in R&B. Mm-hmm. And so there was a lot of, at that time, I think Aaliyah was just coming out at that time. We were shopping demos. We had meetings at Virgin Records. There was a lot of things that was taking place, because I was born and raised in South Central LA. And so there was a lot of things taking place.
Yeah. Let me do that for you.
Let's try. So yeah, it was a lot of things taking place at that particular time, and yet God had a different call upon my life, as you can see, and so I did not become a recording artist again to the year of 2005, and that's when I rededicated my life back to God. And I remember when that took place, for the first time ever, I started writing gospel and inspirational music. Now, although I grew up in church and I sang in the choir, I had never written those type of songs. And it was always R&B stuff. I could always write a good love song. And so all these songs kept coming, and they were flowing. They were coming so fast, I really couldn't contain it. And so what I did was I started researching on how to get your music out there. What do I do? And so I remember I had this book called Music Business 101. And I studied that book to the T. And I used that to kind of, that's where JJ Music was birthed. And so I released my first record under that umbrella. And I think it was year 2007, I released a full album. 2009, 2012, all three of those were full albums. I think I had about 11 or 12 songs on each of those CDs. And then after that, I was like, okay, I'm not going to keep pumping out all this good music. I'm going to have to slow it up a little bit and then just kind of put out singles here and there. And that's what I was doing. And so I've watched myself evolve into this phenomenal woman that God, again, he had another plan. So I'm watching myself, because now when I go back and I think about where I was and what the music that I was doing, and now the music that I'm doing now, I'm like, man, God is just simply amazing. And it's a blessing to have the music that I write and record go out to the masses, even for those that aren't saved or following Christ, so to speak. So that's a blessing to me.
Definitely. If you're just now joining in, welcome backstage with yours truly, the voice, Mr. Sadwar Fair, the DL Marshall. Our guest conversationalist on today is none other than Marjane. And let me say it like this: Marjane, yay. And she is our guest conversationalist. Now, you said you started out in the R&B realm. Yeah. What made you say, all right, I've been sitting in this sanctuary. I've been listening to these choir members sing. I've been listening to church song, I hum along, but I want to get out here and put my footprints in R&B. How was that received in your household? And then how did you start working towards that?
It was received well, actually, because I was always singing, like literally, I can remember as a young girl, I'm always singing something somewhere. And I always had my brushing comb with a microphone. So I knew I always wanted to do something. And at that time, my parents would always listen to old school music. This is why I love old school classic songs now. So your Tickery, your Mickey Howards, your Anita Bakers, Regina Bell. I mean, all of those.
Wait.
What?
You just made me feel old. Hold on, Lord.
Well, I'm getting there.
You said the old school classics that your parents used to listen to. You're right. Now you just got it, right? Yeah. Thank you, Marjane. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest has been tonight. No.
and I cannot forget your Whitney Houstons, your Angela Winbush, like literally the staple singers. Like when I think about all of the old from back in the day. Now
watch that word, young lady. Because listen, when you're saying old school, this is what was going around my house.
Okay, well, I'm over 40 now, so when I think about
Dramatics,
yes,
Skylights,
yes,
Temptations, OJ,
yes, and don't forget the girl groups, the Supremes, the Emotions.
The Jones Girls. I was getting there. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So all of those music, all of those sounds of music that was happening in that era, I actually grew up loving those. And so this is because people would always ask me, have you ever taken singing lessons? And I'm like, no, other than singing in the choir, but they were teaching us songs. It wasn't like actually being in a school of arts where you have a music teacher that's teaching you notes and all that. I never had that experience. But when I was going around in the house, I don't care if it was a Saturday and I had to clean my room, clean dishes, whatever. I always had my comb or brush in my hand and I was singing those songs, and that's what helped groom my voice. And so as I got older and I started doing showcasing around, the city, Los Angeles and stuff like that, I even did, Steve Harvey was doing some showcasing talent shows at the El Rey Theater in California way back in the day. I did 2 of those. And I actually was the runner-up twice because I lost to 2 guys. But it was such a blessing to actually have that experience. And it actually helped me to meet people where I still have relationships with those people today.
Right.
And so I knew that with all my heart, music was something that I wanted to do. It wasn't until the last 3 or 4 years, God has really been using me in other gifts as well. But I knew music was always number one for me. And so my prayer was that I always had my own lane to be in. You know, I never wanted to be, you know, your Jacqueline Carr or your, you know, your, who else can I say, your Tamla Mans and stuff like that. I wanted to have my own sound and, you know, and make an impact as well, just as they do. But I want to be my own person, you know,
Right.
have my own sound. And so when God started giving me melodies and stuff, and I'm like, oh, that sounds good. Because when I'm hearing them, these melodies and everything, and I'm writing these songs out, I'm writing them and believing God that not only will the song be for the church, but for the unchurched. You know what I mean? I want my music to cross over, you know, and
That's what we
hopefully,
fishing.
and change somebody's life that may not necessarily serve Christ. And so, so when you all hear my music now, I mean, from my singles, from I Choose You, El Shaddai, and then my current single now, Won't Give Up Now. I'm like, man, if those songs aren't crossover, I don't know. But I've always prayed that what I do could reach, you know, again, those that are of the unsaved as well. And so, and I think I'm doing really, really good, because with all those responses from the DMs and all that kind of stuff that I'm getting from people that are really inspired and encouraged by my music, that's a blessing to me.
Amen. I would say you're doing a good job as well. Thank God for his anointing and his blessing and his covering. And I would admonish you to do this. Make sure you pray as you are praying that it goes and reach the people that may not be saved. Yeah. Make sure that you pray that the church folk, notice I didn't say Christians, but the church folk have a little understanding, because when Kirk crossed over, you see how them church folks start talking about Kirk, talking about he got stopped playing in the clubs and in the street. That man can't help who playing his music. But guess what?
Correct.
How many people talking about stomp on the devil?
There are, I mean, somehow there are, you know, we have those that DJs and stuff all around the world. And if they hear something that's good, we may not even necessarily know that they put that song in a DJ pool. But hey, if it's going to bless somebody, because all it takes is one person to be changed by what you say through that song. Sometimes, you know, people, you know, music may overshadow what we're actually saying in the song. But if people are really paying attention to what we are saying as we are singing these songs, then hopefully what we are saying is really making the great impact in their lives. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And so it doesn't matter how much my sound may be urban or, you know, urban contemporary or whatever the case may be. The words that I'm saying are very intentional from heaven. And I mean what I am singing, you know?
Yeah. I know of 3 churches across America right now that when they started playing Stomp in the strip clubs, 3 strippers got off the pole immediately and gave their life to Christ. So, you know, now they're head of their praise dance ministry.
That's a blessing.
Yeah, no, I'm just lying. I just made that up. No.
Because I'm like, that's a blessing, but it could have happened. You understand?
That's the point I'm getting at, church folks.
It could have happened. You don't know how your message, whether you write a book, if you're an author and you write a book, you're a singer and you write songs and record songs, or you're a podcaster just as yourself. You don't know what words that you will say or what words that I may sing or speak that may change the course of somebody's life, no matter where they are. They could have just gotten off that pole and got in that car and turned the radio on, and your songs just so happened to be on the radio. You don't know what encounter that person may have had and got while they were in that car.
You know, it's amazing how a lot of people say increase my territory, and then when the territory increase, you want to dictate to what parameters and diameters, perimeters and bases and borders that your territory goes to. So you have to make sure that if you tell God you'll go, then you got to be prepared to go where he has led you to go. Marjane is with us. She is our conversationalist on today. So now you said you had released 2009, 2012, a full project each time. Have you thought about revisiting some of those projects and re-releasing some music as singles?
I actually did do that. So I re-released my song, it was a single titled El Shaddai. El Shaddai was featured on my album Grateful. And I did not get to
and it looks like we may have lost the signal for Marjane. So what we'll do is, Marjane, we'll back you up to when you said that you had released some
I'm
music.
on a podcast interview. I'll call you back. Okay.
Oh, somebody called in. Shame on y'all. Didn't y'all see it on her calendar that she put on?
Yeah,
she was
and
I
did put my phone on Do Not Disturb, so I don't even know how that came through. But it came through my phone and my iPad. But yeah, we can roll it back.
We lost you at the part when you said you did release some music. So start there. Yeah.
Okay.
You can start, pick up there.
Okay, so I did re-record a single titled El Shaddai, which was featured on my Grateful album. I did not get to promote that Grateful album the way that I wanted to, but I knew that was a particular season that El Shaddai needed to go forth. And I remember when I went to the studio to record it originally, way back when, and I was like, this is such a phenomenal song. And it was just a lead vocal across the whole track. There were no background vocals, none of that. But when I re-released this a second time, I redid the lead vocal, I actually added background vocals to that. And then we submitted to radio, and it did really, really well across gospel radio. And so there are some songs that, yes, I have been considering going back now and re-recording. But of course we have Won't Give Up Now, because even though I have all this, I have all of this music that I have recorded, and God is still revealing things and speaking things. So that's why you got singles, I Choose You, and then now the Won't Give Up Now. So I will definitely consider that. And I'm thinking about doing a compilation CD too, because I want to do some live. A lot of people who have heard me sing live absolutely love it, because then there's like a flow that happens, because you have your band and your singers. It's not just like when you have your track, once it's done, it's done.
Yeah.
But when you have a band and singers, there's a flow that happens during that. And so I really, really am considering doing a live compilation CD and choosing some of the best songs that I have had, either released to radio or never released to radio, because there's so many of them. But I am considering that.
Yeah. And I mean, just because it's been out doesn't mean that it has been released. You know what I mean? And I'm speaking on the spiritual terms. Sometimes we go out, but we haven't been released to go. And a lot of things that we do is not received, not because it's not good, it's not anointed, but it just was not released to be received. So now this may be the season of that release. Yours truly, the voice, Mr. Sadwell Farah, the DL Marshall. We're backstage having a conversation with our guest conversationalist, Miss Marjane. She is a gospel recording artist, and man, we are chopping it up. Let me ask you this, Marjane. Coming out of LA, did you have any pitfalls that you had to navigate around? How did you miss? Because a lot of people think when you start talking about LA, you think about the gangs and the drug game, and you only think about guys, but there were some women getting down. There were some young girls getting down.
There were. Yeah,
there were. Navigate.
Look, growing up in South Central LA was, I would say for us, that was like the best time growing up, because that's what we knew. We grew up there, that was a time where it was cool to drink water out your water hose. You can wait for the fruit man to come on with the truck around the corner. We had ice cream trucks on the block. We had all that kind of stuff. And of course we had your gangs and, and all that kind of stuff. That's the life out there as well. But my mom and my dad were hard on us. And I, as I'm, grown now, an adult, I understand why.
Right.
And so I thank them, because again, when we're little and when you growing up and you teenager, you know, you smelling yourself, so to speak, you know, you're not trying to hear what your parents trying to tell you, but there is a reason why they are so hard on you. It's kind of like they're needing that added protection because they already know what's out there. And so when you're older, you begin to reflect back and you can see why they were doing some of the things that they wanted to do. No, you can't go here. No, you can't do that, you know, and we knew that stuff exists. You know, I knew gang members from both sides, you know, I knew drug dealers too. And so it was like, you know, but that just didn't become my life, thank God. But I knew that it existed. And so growing up, you know, I was always wanting to go to school. I love school. And, you know, having my friends and all that kind of stuff. And it you know, Marjane had to go through some stuff because even in school, growing up in high school, I remember, you know, people just, you know, I just had a real issue with females a lot. Like females was always, you know, I could count on one hand how many good girlfriends that I would have in school, because it was like all of them were either jealous or they was envy. You know, that singer girl, and she's so pretty and she got the long hair and all the boys want to talk to her.
Hold on, I was just, when you said that you didn't get long hair, I said the first thing she gonna say is that she had long hair. I knew back then in the day you could look. You can look in, but if your hair was long,
if your hair was long, like it was, you know, and that was just, you know, when you think about it being, well, I'm well over 40. So when I think about it now, I'm like, that was some stupid stuff not to like nobody. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's real, some childish stuff right there.
She thinks she cute because her hair.
Yeah, she thinks she cute and blah, blah, blah. So yeah. And I remember one time I was walking home from school, and I remember I think it was an end of school year. And there was about 3 or 4 girls that was following me home because they thought they was going to jump me. Boy, I walked them all the way to my house because I was like, if I go in this house, it's about to be on and popping again.
Hey, your prayer life kicked in. Lord, just let me get in the house. Let me get in the house
now. But back then, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna walk you right to my grass, and you come over here if you want to. It's gonna be on and popping. And so I remember stuff like that. I remember one particular girl in this is when I was in high school, and she came running down the hallway with a bat trying to come after me. Like it was just crazy. Like it was just crazy how you see, you know, just certain things.
Wait. Shame on the teachers, the administrative, faculty, and security that this girl could grab hold of bat and not walk, but run down the hall.
Running towards me down the hall with a bat. I'll never forget that. And I've always wondered, you know, where this lady, like, how's she doing now? Like, I'll be wondering how
she living life like a bat out of hell. That's how she living. That's what she doing.
But, you know, so you were exposed to that type of living and stuff like that. But, you know, again, I thank God that that I had parents that were hard on us, and that God protected us too, you know. Amen. Because again, we're living in that thing. My home church was in Watts, California, right on 111th in Wilmington. So you right in the heart of all of that stuff, you know.
Can't go left, can't go right.
Right, can't go left. Ain't go right. We lived in the projects. We lived in Nickerson Gardens. We were in there. When I say we were in there, we were in there.
So what you're really saying is Marjane got hands.
If I need to use them, if I need to protect myself, you best believe I'm gonna protect myself. Okay, don't think because I love Jesus, I'm not. If I have to defend myself, like literally. If somebody is trying to harm me, I'm going down fighting. That's for sure, for sure. And my husband be like, you always trying to bring that South Central stuff. I'm like, babe, but if I had to defend myself, I'm gonna have to do that. You know, I'm not just gonna let
survive in South Central.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let nobody just run up on me and think I'm what? Like, how are you gonna do that? You know what I'm saying? It's
so funny because growing up, I would go out to Oakland, Richmond, San Jose, where I have family, and we had some Chicago's that we would go visit, of course, Arkansas, but not so much in the southern regions. But when we would go out west, a lot of people thought because we lived in Kansas City, we were in Kansas. So they thought cows and they thought and all that other stuff. But when we got there, I'm like, man, we from Missouri. So they would see and they was like, yo, you ain't country. You fit in. I'm like, dude. So they would come and visit us, and they would see, and they would be like, dog, the hood is the same everywhere. So I kind of learned that, you know, even when I started getting into church, that when you go across the world and you see another child of God, and I'm big on Christian versus church folk, but when you see another child of God, another Christian, and you see, man, the salvation is the same everywhere as long as you allow it to embody you and exude out of you. You can connect with any other Christian across the world. And that's how I kind of looked at that analogy. You know, there's a hood everywhere, but there's also a church everywhere. So do you want to be hood or do you want to be holy? So
right.
yeah, you can get these holy hands or you can get these hood hands. The choice is yours.
Right. And there's definitely a distinction between the two. And so, you know, and people, you know, when you pick the right road, okay, if you picking the right road, then you're going to reap the fruit of picking that right road. And so, you know, hopefully, you know, as people are navigating through this thing we call life, that they picking the right road. I just did a live today, you know, talking about making the necessary adjustments. We got to do that. And oftentimes people don't want to do it because, you know, they're prideful, you know, they think they think they've arrived is what I say. But there comes a time, especially when you're walking with God, that you have to make the necessary adjustments. You just do. So that way you can make an impact out here in the earth.
That is Christianity, adjustments. Like, that is it. When you ask for redemption, that means you are pivoting or changing, turning from what it was you just asked repentance for. So even when you sing, I stand up and do comedy, you got to go off the spirit in the room. A lot of people be like, well, how you know what jokes to and what jokes not to tell? You pivot off the room. So you're always making adjustments. So how can we make adjustments in our careers, but we can't do it in our life?
Correct. And
Christianity is a lifestyle.
Yeah. And you brought back a memory. I just mentioned this too, again, last Saturday, when I was speaking on my live last Saturday, we were talking about green rooms because I've always had a problem with that. And I've said, I understand that if I'm getting invited to come and do your event, that's totally fine with me. But I do not like green rooms. Please do not sit me in a green room. I have to be in the room so that I can feel the shifting of the atmosphere. This will determine whether Marjane needs to do the set list that she put together, or if God is going to shift something and I need to do something else. Because if I'm not in the room when the shift happens, I miss what God is wanting to do in that particular moment. So I have to be present in the room. I cannot be in somebody's green room outside of what is happening in the other room, and then I miss what God wants to do. I cannot do that.
And you know, of course, green room is used heavily in comedy. And so a lot of times what I'll do, I'll go in, put my things down, maybe eat fruit or water or drink tea, what they may have for us in the green room, get a chance to get, you know, release, relax, you pray. Because what I'm big over the space you put me in, I'm going to pray in that space. I don't know who was just in here occupying it. So, you know, I pray, make it mine. I relax, get my mind together. Then God will release me because I'm like you. I'll go out, even with comedy, I'll go out to the back of the room and I'll feel what does this collection of people find funny and not funny? What is this collective people getting tight and finding offensive opposed to what's making them comfortable? And then I have a thing that I do with my God that I will go back when I know it's close to my time. I'll go back to that green room and I got this little thing that I do. And all right, God, we finished to go get it. And my whole thing is, don't let my God show me favor tonight. And I'm thanking God that he has shown me so much favor than less than. So, yeah, I get exactly what it is that you're saying. Ladies and gentlemen, you are backstage with the realest podcast going. I'm talking about in the world because we get to what is real. And what is real is Jesus. That's what's real. And so we have a good time with the content. We banner and go back and forth, but we make sure we bring all things back to God that he may get the glory of God, because I'm a firm believer in what he told me. and I'm making it personal, that if I lift him, he would draw. And that's all I'm trying to do, is draw people back to what is going to be life-changing, mind-changing. It even changes your physicality. It changes your speak, your walk. Just give God's son, Jesus Christ, a chance. And if it ain't for you, it ain't for you. So I ain't talking to you unless it's you. But you know when you got disconnected from Christ and when you need to plug back in. And so speaking about plugging back in, this is what we're going to do, y'all. If you just coming in, you made it just in time. We're going to let you know how and why you should plug in. You just don't give up. Don't give up, because Marjane says she won't give up. I sure won't give up. So what we're going to do is show you how not to give up by getting into this video. This is Marjane Parks, Won't Give Up.
Got me running, running, running. Got me running, running, running. Got me running every day, chasing my vision today. But I won't give up on you, I'm holding on to promise made. The promise you made. I can see my vision clear through the cloud and storms with me. But I won't give up on you, I'm holding on to promise made. The promise you made. Stand on the promise I'm standing on. I won't give up. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I won't give up now. Stand on the promise I'm standing on. In the time I won't give up now. No, 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 no.
Check, check.
No, no, no.
Look, stay committed. What's your ambitions? They won't always see your vision, just don't let them tint it. That's to the homies that's in prison, never missed a visit. They say life is what you make it, just shape it to fit your image. Don't ever feel you're worthless, it's a reason you exist. And when you find your purpose, gotta move with intent. Reinvent, don't be content, these fundamentals are vital. Don't let them paint your life so black and white like vitiligo. You created, you the pilot, be triumphant when you fly it. In the end, it'll be alright, don't give up the fight. Like David took Goliath, go toe to toe with the giants. Look, my pen like the coming of Christ, I'm that nice. And I believe in me, on myself I bet it win. Just be who you wanna be, your power rests within. You can fall and be redeemed, you can build up anything. Black king, black queen, don't never forget the dream, you know.
Promise of God to the end of time. I won't give up now. No, 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 no. I'm standing on the promise, the
Traveling again, it's yours truly, Mr. Sidewalk Fair, the DL Marshall. And guess what? Once again, low-cost airlines come through once more and again. I'm about to head up out of here, but I had to take a moment just so you can see how
how many happy low-cost airline customers it is. You want to be one? Sure you do. Go to 1-800-708-3091. That's 1-800-708-3091. Tell them DL sent you. You could be everywhere like Mr. Sadwell Fair. I'm up out of here. They ain't gonna close the door on me this time.
Hey y'all, it is Sean Lee House of Sean Lee House Photography, and I'm backstage enjoying my favorite radio show and podcast, DL's Backstage Pass on Marsh Media Backstage Entertainment.
All right, welcome back, man. And we enjoyed that Won't Give Up. I told y'all it had a beat that would be familiar to you. Welcome us back. Welcome back with us, our guest conversation, Miss Marjane. How you doing, Marjane? How did you feel looking at yourself right there?
I know, I was sitting here, I'm like, oh my God. It just brought that session when we did that video recording. Oh my God, it was so amazing. And I was like, it just brought back so many memories because it was a bunch of love in the room. You felt the love in the room. You felt it was just God's presence in the room. And I am so grateful for my producer, Marvin. We've been doing music together for a very long time. Marvin has been rocking with me since I first got started. And so all of the music that you all hear, not only from Won't Give Up Now, but from previous recordings that I have done, Marvin Page has, I mean, he's just simply amazing. And then it's my son who actually is doing the rap on the record. And so he used to say, Mom, stop telling people that it's me on your, I'm like, they're gonna, because some people ask, who is that rapping on your song? And I'm like, right, that's my son, because he is so gifted in his own right. And I am so grateful for him. Man, I tell you, the song is simply amazing. And when we talked about when God gives me songs that come from heaven, I be praying that it's a song that can reach outside of the four walls of the church. And so, but although you guys may hear that urban inspirational sound through the music, my words are very intentional. And I have always said, since I've released Won't Give Up Now, that it is not just a song, it's a declaration for many years to come. Because in those hard times, when the enemy is bringing stuff at us and we're going through in our marriages and our families and all that kind of stuff, we have to really start declaring that we won't give up now, and not just say it out of our mouths, but really have faith and believe what we are declaring out of our mouths. And so the song is so powerful. And man, thank you for playing it, because I did not know you were about to play.
I know it. Well, welcome to the madness of what is Marshallisms. All right. And you know what? We definitely heard the words. I promise you, in no way, form, shape, or fashion that I hear any influence from the Gap Band. I didn't hear anything. You can't keep running.
Now that you said something, I'm gonna have to go back and hear it now.
Yeah.
Wow.
But definitely. But I told you, my old school goes back probably about 6 or 7 years further than your old school.
Further than mine, yeah.
There you go. Yeah. But so, but that was a job well done. And tell your son to get ready to people to be asking who that is, and not to feel ashamed to say it is your son, because I figured it right off when I saw his name on the credits coming in to the, as you guys look like you were walking up to the studio. So how long ago has it been? I think what about five or 6 months ago you released that?
I released Won't Give Up Now in June of 2023. I think it was mid-June of 2023. And I actually recorded it 2 years prior to that.
Wow.
But I just hadn't been, I've been hanging on to it for so long. And I was like, okay, this is the year that we need to release this song, because I knew with everything that was happening in the world and me having conversations with different people, I'm like, it's a time for us to start declaring some stuff. We just got to tell this enemy that, well, no, we're not just gonna lay down and let you have your way. We are not giving up. And so I went ahead and released it. June of 2023, and it is doing amazing. And so I want to thank your listeners and watchers that watch your podcast. Thank you guys in advance for purchasing and streaming and downloading Won't Give Up Now. And I hope really that it is a blessing to you and whoever is attached to you. That's really what my prayer is.
Yeah, and definitely that is the perfect message coming out of the presidency of that 145. So yeah, just when you thought you could give up on America and fly out to Italy, Paris, Rome, somewhere like that, Africa, then all of a sudden, you know, a little glimmer of hope. But with the situations now, we got to make sure we don't give up. Don't give up. I know there's a lot of people saying your vote don't matter and all. Don't give up at them polls. Go line up at them polls like you line up at Foot Locker to get them new J's when they come out. Don't give up your hope in our democracy. But yeah, so we're looking at your transformation from high school into the music industry, R&B into gospel. How did you wind up coming to the platform of the Spin Awards?
Oh, wow. Okay, so my very first time being introduced to the Spin Awards, because I didn't know what the Spin Awards were. But my very first encounter being there was through Mr. Darren Freeman. I met him via online because he had came across my song, I Choose You.
Okay.
And so there were some different things that we were doing pertaining to that particular record. And he invited me to come out to the Spin Awards. That was my first time going. It was here in Atlanta. And it was at some theater. I forgot what theater it was. And it was packed. It was so many people at that particular theater.
I can't remember the name of it, but I was there.
Yeah. Now, I don't remember meeting you that first year I went, but I remember
this year.
At this, that last one. But the first one that I went to, that was my first experience with the Spin Awards, and I thought that was so amazing because I met a lot of radio people that I did not, I knew that they were there, but we never actually met in the same room or formally in person. So that gave me the opportunity to do that and then kind of see how they did everything. Right. And then when you and I met at the last one that we did, it was so amazing to meet all of you. Michael Stewart invited me to come out and take part in not only the red carpet event where I met you, but he wanted me to do the show. We did the showcasing for the Spin Awards, and that just kind of took off because people were like, who is this girl? But I've always been around, but this is why it's so important to make sure that you stay relevant, so to speak, because you can't just sit at home and think doors are going to open. You got to move and you got to be out there, make your presence known so people know who you are as an artist. And this is why I think social media is a great tool for me. You have to use social media in a good form and fashion. Okay. And so I use it for networking purposes. So when you guys get to see my reels and my lives and, my scriptures that I do once a week and I'm attaching photos to it, I'm really trying to, get people to, I'm engaging with people because people don't know, the behind the music Marjane. So I have to let them come in, by way of my reels, by way of my lives that I do. This is a way of getting people to know who I am behind Marjane, the artist, right?
Got you.
So I use social media for that purpose. But I tell you, that Spin Awards, the second one where I met you at, it was such a blessing and it opened so many doors. Like when we started sending after the fact, and when we started sending the music and the video to all of you, their responses were so amazing. Oh my God, the song, the video, who is this girl? And I'm like, I have always been here, but it's just getting in those rooms where you can meet all of those people like yourself. And I thank God for the opportunity again through Mike Stewart, through Mr. Darren, through all of those that I have met along this journey that has allowed me to get in these rooms and do showcasing or have these interviews. It is such a blessing. And I want to thank you guys for opening your doors because, I always say, of all of the major artists that are out there, your Mary Marys, your Kirk Franklin's and all that, I never let the fact that I don't have their spotlight stop me from doing what I need to do.
You know
It
what?
doesn't matter. It does not matter if it's 5 people that I gotta reach. I'm gonna reach them 5.
What I realized and come to understand when I first got into radio, Kirk Franklin, Mary was doing exactly what you were doing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the consistency of always putting
Correct.
themselves out. So I've watched them spend the money, whether it was through labels or out of their own pocket, to go to conventions,
Right.
to put themselves in the face of us that spin the music. I tell so many artists, man, you ought to come to the Spin Awards. Well, what is the Spin Awards? Well, it is an award show for radio stations, personalities, and station owners. They don't own no stations. Duh. Don't you want your music to be on the air? So if you want to be in movies and there is a movie production convention and you're an actor, why wouldn't you go to where you can get your craft seen? And so there are showcases, and the audience is people that play music for a living.
Right.
So why wouldn't you want to be a part of that? I tell fellow comedians, you might want to come to that. Well, why? I ain't in no music industry. I ain't singing, but concerts need hosts.
Yes.
Conferences need hosts. Red carpets need hosts. So we got to get out of this box and say, man, we got to go out and show people who we are, or be content with people not knowing about the things you spend the most money in, which is packaging your CDs, your music, and all that to play, and then nobody's playing it because they don't know you.
That's it. And then when you're out of place, gotta fill it with somebody else because they was ready and you sit there slipping. So hey, don't be mad when somebody else turn come up when you had the chance. You had the chance to move and you didn't move. So now that person that was ready, now is their opportunity. And now you gotta wait till yours come around again.
And the window of opportunity is but so long. And that bus may only come that one trip. So, hey, you got to look at it as such. So I see that you did that project with your son. Do you guys look to do anything else together since that was so successful?
I know, right? That was the first time that my son has been on any of my records. And I probably will do some more things with my son. He also does music production and stuff too. So may get him on some of my other records. I told Marvin, who does my music production, I was like, Marvin, don't be mad if I cheat on you once in a while, man, and give me the person that do my music. Now, I love you, but I may have to venture out every now and then.
Hey,
So,
you notice music producers. Music producers and beauticians, they are similar like that. They don't like being cheated on.
I know. That's why I had to tell him in advance. I might have to do this every now and then now, but I love you.
Definitely. Yeah. Hey, we got a few more minutes left with our guest conversationalist, Miss Marjane, backstage with Mr. Sadwar Fair, your host today, the DL Marshall. Hey, so let me ask a few questions. I am the jokester of the group of Marsh Media, although Bam and I are the comedians. I'm the cutting edge one. So that's the reason why I have a segment on our radio show called Dang DL. And I started asking questions that made a lot of people like, dang, man, dang DL, I don't know. So let me ask you this question. You had any choice of artists to work with, whether it was gospel or secular, but they had to sing gospel, who are you choosing?
There's only 2 artists that I want to record with, and I have mentioned this on so many other podcast interviews and in radio interviews, but it is your Jonathan McReynolds and Rudy Currents. Okay. I want to work with both of them. And I've had a pleasure of meeting Jonathan McReynolds when I got invited to the Trailblazer Awards. I went there, I was a guest there, and that was amazing. There was really no conversation. It was just an introduction, but sometimes that's all you need.
That's a start.
And so I was able to meet him, and then I had a pleasure of meeting Rudy Currents at an industry event that my son put on with the company that he works with. And that has spawned into this relationship, music relationship. And so I am believing that there's going to be a door this year where I can say, hey, Rudy, you think we could do something? I don't care if it's a Christmas song or whatever, but I want to do something with them. So we never know how that's going to play out, but I thank God that I was able to meet them. And I'm gonna have to tell you something funny. I know we got a few minutes. I had put Rudy's name in my phone, and he thought I was probably nuts. But when I first met him at the industry event, I had his name in there, but no phone number, because I had already knew that one day I was gonna meet him. Wow. And so when I met him at the industry event, and he was like, yeah, take my number down. And I was like, Rudy, please don't think that I'm crazy, but I'm going to show you this in my phone. I'm going to just show you this in my phone, but don't think that I'm crazy. And when I brought up his name, it said Rudy Currens, but there was no email, no number in there. Because I said, I knew one day, someday, I was going to meet you and I'll be able to have your phone number.
I know he was like, okay.
Like this lady, but no, that's like, I'm that big woman of faith. Like literally, I'm gonna make sure, okay, somehow, some way, I am gonna meet this person. I don't know where it's gonna be, but it's gonna happen.
Right. You gotta be like that. You gotta be like that to, like you said, your preparation met your opportunity, and the space allowed itself. It did.
It did. Yeah.
All right. This is a song. This is a question that's probably going to make you cringe. Worst gospel song you ever heard?
Worst gospel song I've ever heard.
Yeah. Or rendition of the song. I'll try to loosen the range on you.
I don't even remember now. I don't have a particular title for the song, but I have heard other singers try to do other gospel songs, make them, and I'll be like, it's just certain songs you just need to leave alone.
Yeah.
But I can't remember what song it was. It was a couple of them. And I don't know if I came across the songs on TikTok, or you know how people be doing their little videos and So, but it was two particular songs, and God dog it, I can't remember the two songs. But I'm gonna just say this, y'all. If it's a great gospel song and y'all really can't redo the song right, then don't redo it. Please don't do that. I'm just saying, please don't do it. Please don't do it.
What she said is, if y'all can't sing and y'all know y'all can't sing, leave that alone.
Because
just strip the anointing off of anointed song.
I sang, who sang that song? Who sang the song "Come Share My Love"? Was it Mickey Howard?
Mickey Howard. Yeah.
Because I sang that on my live, because I was getting them to see that God could use anything to get a message across. And I remember doing her verse of that song. And it was so powerful when you actually think about the words, and then how I actually, what I spoke about after the fact. But I wasn't going to sing that song out my mouth if I knew I couldn't sing it, because she can sing, right?
Right.
Exactly.
Which her mom was a caravan in the gospel field as well. So, but it was a song by Bishop Paul S. Mortensen. Open the floodgates of heaven.
Yes,
I love that song.
Okay.
But it was a guy on the internet that he was trying to sing that song, and he was failing at "Open the Floodgates of Heaven." So he tried it, and it didn't fly. And he said, "Yes, we're gonna say it again." And he said it again. And somebody hit him in the audience with, "That's all right, baby." So he tried to play it off and say, "Y'all just help me say, it's raining, I'm moist." And I was like, what?
No, I did not see that. Oh God, no.
Look up the when we get off of this, look up YouTube or Google guy sings "It's Moist" in church. I'm moist.
Okay. I did not see that. Oh God. Not as moist. Okay. Really? Okay. That's horrible. That's
Oh
so
my
horrible.
God. First of all, you're singing a good song terribly, and then
You
you're
make it even
putting
worse
in you
by
make
your
it
word
worse.
content. Yeah. Yeah. That's horrible.
Oh
That's
my
horrible.
God. What is your favorite city to be booked in?
Ooh. Wow. I have cities with an S. Does that count?
I'll give you three. Top three.
Okay. I really, really enjoyed the Carolinas.
Okay.
I enjoyed LA, of course. And of course here, Atlanta.
You can't pick LA. That's where you're from.
Oh shoot. Darn.
Yeah,
Okay,
can't do that.
Carolinas,
Atlanta.
Nashville.
Nashville.
Yeah. Nashville, Carolinas, and Atlanta.
All right. That's solid. That's solid. All right. Most embarrassing thing that happened to you while you were performing.
I passed gas. They
Now,
thought I was the only one on the stage. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus.
now I've heard,
Yeah.
because I've MC concerts. So I've heard figuratively and literally that happens more than a lot of people think. But the thing is, you don't want anybody else to hear it or smell it but you.
Right. So it wasn't a loud one. I don't even know how we get on the subject of farts. Oh my God. It wasn't a loud one. It was one of the silent ones. But this is why I am
So that was deadly. That was deadly. Yeah.
But this is why I'm so mindful of what I eat before I go and sing on somebody's stage now. Like for the last 10 years, I am mindful about what I consume before I have to go and sing on somebody's stage, because it is embarrassing. Because the person, when you get done with your last song, oftentimes somebody's walking on right before you, or they want you to stay on the stage so they can get you to speak and introduce yourself. And no.
See, that I drink tea before I don't eat before I perform.
Yeah.
Because it makes me heavy. But
yeah.
I emceed. That's why I laugh so hard. I was emceeing a concert, and I came on. Of course, we have our own mic, and so they looked, and I said, "Way to go!" Because they slammed. Yeah. I'm like, "Yeah, way to go!" And they nodded. And when I got up into the space, I said, "Whoa, Lord!" And people probably thought I was talking about because they sang so well. But I'm like, okay, you couldn't have gave me no warning. You could have gave me a little stay here for a second. But
I'm telling you, it's an embarrassing moment. But again, it's been over 10 years since that happened to me. But I tell you, I am going to watch what I consume on the day that Marjane has to go and sing, period. No, we ain't going out to eat nowhere until it's after I done sang somewhere. We are not doing that, no.
So pretty girls do poop in the midst of praise.
Pretty girls do poop in the midst of praise. Okay. Yes, they do.
All right. Last two. Worst industry advice or life advice you were given.
Worst industry advice that I was given.
Or life advice.
Mm-hmm. Well, I remember, this is probably the worst thing someone could ever propose to you, but you better know your business so you don't get yourself in trouble. I remember there was someone who wanted to do some contracts or whatever for me as a signing as an artist. But this particular person must have knew I wouldn't, or, I don't know if they just didn't research me to know that I had already been around for a very long time to know a little bit about the music industry. But this person literally wanted to or had the nerve to ask for 100% of my publishing.
Was they named Sean Combs?
No, was not Sean Combs. But I was looking at him like, you got to be kidding me, right? Like, this is not a real question. Am I getting punked somewhere? Because I don't even understand how you have the nerve to ask that. That was something, but it made me think about how many hungry artists are out there that won't know a little bit about the business, that will make a business decision like that can change the whole course of their career.
Amen.
It can change it. And so when you're just coming out or have a desire to become an artist or whatever it is that you need to do, you need to learn a little bit about the business as well, because you don't want nobody to come in and take everything that you got. You want to take everything that I got. These are the babies that I birthed. You see what I'm saying? These that came out of me from heaven. And so
Right.
you want to take what I birthed away? Oh no. And so it's important, you got to know, because a lot of artists are so hungry and they're so quick to want to move and get out there and be known and be famous and all that stuff. But you got to use wisdom, and you got to know what is going on. And that was for sure a no for me. That was a door that if he wasn't closing it, I was closing it at that moment.
Well, you jumped ahead. You must have knew what the next question was, is what is some good advice you would give to an artist that may be looking at this, that want to break into business? So you segued that perfect. Marjane, thank you so much for being so gracious with your time and being our guest conversationalist on DL's Backstage Past Conversations, where we don't interview, we just have simple conversations. Anything that you would like to leave as far as let people know how they can find you with your Saturday Facebook shows, what social medias they can look you up, and how to get your music and on what platform?
Yes, you all can check out my new record, Won't Give Up Now, which is available on all streaming outlets. Wherever music is streamed digitally, you can find that. The official video that you all saw today is available on YouTube. Please follow me at Marjane Music across all of your social media. My official website is also marjanemusic.com. And if you guys would like to join me on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, that is on Facebook, and that's under marjane.parks, Parks. You guys can join me. We have lots of fun. Today we gave away some money and stuff for giveaways. Right. So we do a lot of different fun things there. So definitely support. And I want to thank you in advance, guys, for purchasing and streaming the record Won't Give Up Now. Oh, and also that record has received, I don't know if you know, DL, but it's received 7 nominations for the 2024 Rhythm of Gospel Awards.
Congratulations.
So we're heading there this year. Yeah, we're heading there this year.
Congratulations and glory to God, man. And that's just a tip of what's coming your way, because the product is good. And what we say, we offer the hottest music, interviews, talking topics this side of heaven, and all the funny they can handle. So for you to be sitting backstage, you had to have some hot fire. So we appreciate that coming through. And you guys can find your man, Mr. Savoir Fair, everywhere on social media under THEEDL Marshall. That is the DL Marshall on YouTube. That's our comedy channel. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. We still even got something up on Twitter, although I'm not on X. I X that out. And I'm on TikTok now, so you can look us up, THEEDL Marshall. You can find this content right here on our YouTube, Marsh Media. This channel I-70, Marsh Media. No, I said that wrong, Marjane. It's YouTube channel I-70 MMBE. Okay. Gotcha. YouTube channel I-70 Marsh Media Backstage Entertainment. We also have a Patreon channel, which is patreon.com/Marsh Media Backstage ENT. All right. So thank you so much. Thank you, Marjane. We appreciate your time. We will be in Atlanta, Bam, Billy, and myself, April the 5th. So if you in town, April the 5th, we'll be there with the Re-Up Awards and comedy show. We got a day party that they're going to do. It's an all-white party they're going to do. So it's a bunch of things. So go to Re-Up. I believe it's the reupexperience.com and go get your tickets. I think the comedy show is going to have myself, Bam, comedian Sweaty Hands. It's going to be a good production of events that's going on April 5th and 6th in Atlanta, Georgia. So before we get out of here, I got to let you know, Remember, the gospel of Jesus Christ is contagious. Catch it. All that you do, do it godly. Till the next time we catch you backstage. Y'all be blessed.